Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to take a trip down recent memory lane and check out some older videos I did called My Hopes and Dreams for the 9th edition Astra Militarum codex. As you know, we waited a long time between the 8th and 9th edition book, and I ended up doing 3 of these videos, looking at things I hoped the new codex would bring for us. So a bit of fun and nothing serious. Let's see if any of my hopes and dreams were eventually answered. So my first video was published way back in September 2020. And the first thing I hoped for was simply some boosted regimental doctrines. As you probably remember, back then there were the single named regimental doctrines, and they were very, very dated. Some of the things I asked for were ballistic skill 3+ Cadians, Valhallans with leadership 8, Talarans with a minimum advance roll of a 3, and Mordians having rapid fire 2 and weapon skill of 3+ if in base-to-base contact. So did I get my wish here? Sort of, but also not really. The idea of proper named single super doctrines are pretty much gone. We were able to only either bring born soldiers or 2 custom doctrines that encapsulate some of these older named regimental doctrines. However, the positive is that a lot of what I wish for has been captured into the order systems or the custom doctrines. I also dreamt of tougher tanks and heavy weapon teams. Wanted Leman Russ and Baneblades to be toughness 9 and 2+ save, and heavy weapon teams to also get an improved armor save if they remain stationary in the previous turn. So did this wish come true? Absolutely yes for tanks, getting a 2+ and a toughness 9 on the Baneblade, but obviously nothing on the heavy weapon teams. However, of course, we have had a tougher toughness 9 tank come through with the Rogal Dawn, and also the field ordnance batteries, which granted aren't a great unit, are however at least tougher than a heavy weapon team. So the next video I did was exactly 12 months after the first, and we're still waiting for our new codex. So this time I wished for some turn-based bonuses like what other armies have. The coolest I thought up was a turn 1 bonus called Dug in Positions, giving all units that didn't move a +1 save. Turn 3 a bonus called Listen Up, where order ranges are boosted by 3 inches, and turn 4 being fixed bayonets, where infantry units in melee generate an additional hit on a hit roll of 6. These obviously didn't come through, but at least for the Catechins they've got the additional hit on a 6 in melee. I then also asked to make the Baneblade great again, again with a 2+ armor save, and also a ballistic skill bonus if the vehicle didn't move. This improved ballistic skill did obviously come through with a turret weapon rule, making not only the Baneblade more accurate, but all other turret weapons. Next, along in that dream factory, I asked for army-specific secondary objectives. At this point in 9th edition, any armies without an updated codex were working to a standard suite of secondary objectives, and it frankly sucked for Astra Militarum. I suggested one that incentivized us to field and play Astra Militarum in a traditional way. I suggested a secondary that required you to have 3 different infantry squads or Voxcasters receive an order. They had to be in 3 different table quarters, and one of them destroy an enemy unit. So was this something that was eventually done? Absolutely yes, we didn't have to wait for the new book. The flexible command and boots on the ground were released in a mission pack, which are very similar to what I dreamt of. I like to think someone at GW watched my video and used it as inspiration, but with the video only having about 600 views, I firmly doubt it, and probably just more a coincidence, but super cool anyway. In this video I also asked for some stratagems, with a key one that I still hold on to being a self-destruct stratagem for Hellhounds. It's a shame this never came through, but at least all the Hellhound variants now explode on a 5+, so at least we've got that. Right, so my third run of this topic was July last year, which at this point was 2 years into 9th edition and 5 years almost with the old book. Personally at this point I was a relatively experienced tournament player and was beating my head against the wall with the old book, and I was pretty desperate at this point. So my first hope was simply Shootier weapons with flat 3 damage battle cannons, D3+3 demo cannons, AP4 mortal wound inflicting vanquisher battle cannons, and bonkers good death strikes, in line with some of the rumours that were floating around at that point. So did we get all this? Absolutely yes. Across all of our staple heavy weapons, they've all got flat damage profiles, increased AP, and in some occasions increased strength, with mortars for example now at strength 5, previously strength 4, and Punisher Gatling cannons now being strength 6 AP1, previously strength 5 AP0. I also dreamt again of survivable units, with the Baneblade having a ramshackle and feel no pain style mechanic, Bulgrams having an additional wound being at 4 wounds each, and all vehicles being able to pot smoke at any point in the game, be it your opponent's or your own shooting phase. As we have explored earlier, the Baneblade is now toughness 9, 2+ save, so going some of the way towards that, and also the Bulgrams are now -1 damage. The smokescreen mechanic is now a stratagem in line with other armies, which of course is fine. However, being a stratagem means you can only use it once per turn, which is a minor downgrade given before all vehicles could pop it in your turn. But overall, my wish that Astra Militarum units are generally tougher has come through with increased toughness, additional wounds or wound, and stratagems like ablative plate. And finally, I again asked for some improved stratagems, with my favourite being 1 CP for +1 to hit on artillery, if a Voxcaster unit can see the target. This of course has kind of come through with the Regimental Doctrine Expert Bombardiers, but given the indirect nerf in the balanced data slate still remains. Astra Militarum is mostly hitting then on a 4+, so gaining nothing versus where we were in the 8th edition book. Right, so in summary, a lot of what I hoped for has come through in some form. Given our codex was the last to be updated, we've had the benefit of natural power creep, so the 9th edition book is packed full of tricks, where I was having an answer for most scenarios. Do you want to ignore a wound cap? Take the Command Squad Relic banner. Want to deny enemy deep strike? Use the Officers of the Fleet stratagem, or the Perfector's Order Remain Vigilant. And most crucially, if you want to jank an objective from your opponent, turn on OPSEC via Mechanized or Perfector's Orders. Things are looking pretty good for Guard at the moment. After years of struggling, we have a powerful book with our win rates finally been above 50%. Personally, I haven't been seeing massive overwhelming success, but I'm realistic enough to know that I haven't been playing a lot of games as I've been losing my competitive edge due to a really busy work schedule and also a wife due to pop with our first baby. Also from a tournament point of view, I've got a theory that Guard will perform best in player placed terrain environments. UK tournaments are majority fixed terrain, so cutting strong direct fire lanes can sometimes be a problem. But how are you finding it out there? Either be it player placed terrain or fixed terrain placement. But yep, hopefully interesting as we walk down recent memory lane. And if you want to support my channel, you can do so with a like, comment, or by subscribing or joining my Patreon platoon. Massive thanks to my current subscribers and also Patrons. So keep your bayonet sharp, las gun oiled. Fame from the Emperor strong. Patreon platoon, sound off. Tank Commander Glenn. Tank Commander Mitchell. Tank Commander Watchdog Van Etten. Colour Sergeant DuPont. Sergeant Broxius, Adal, the Colonel Merrill. Veterans Gibson, Hall, Lundeen. Guardsman Beard, Coquelin, Flint, Hills, Malik, Nitton, Nguyen, Smith, Tom, Tompkin, Conscript Bosun, England, Gilliam, Goodwin.